Weird sciencey facts that boggle my mind. I know you think a platypus is weird, but you're wrong. It's fucking weirder than that. I already know it's weird because it's like a mammal, sort of. But it lays eggs like a reptile. But it has a bill and webbed feet like a duck. And the males have venomous claws on their back feet, and we're not sure why. Maybe for fighting off other males for mating. Maybe. But that venom might one day help treat diabetes because apparently it has a hormone that stimulates insulin production, so that's cool. And the females, because they're still mammals and not lizards, even though they lay eggs, they produce milk for their young, even though they don't have nipples. They just sweat the milk out and it like pools up on their stomach, and then the little baby beaver ducks just like lap it up off the stomach. Also, the babies are called puggles, so you're welcome. You can die happy now knowing that. Harley's coming to visit me. And for the likely reason that drinking milk off the stomach of an animal that lives in a swamp is a lot less sanitary than drinking it from a nipple, their milk actually contains incredibly potent antibiotics. And they get that antibiotic property from these special protein folds that are really curly, so they nicknamed them Shirley Temples. And scientists think that they can use those proteins to create antibiotics that'll fight the superbugs that have become resistant to regular antibiotics. And the puggles, you know, the little baby platypuses, they're born with teeth, which doesn't make any sense because they don't use them for anything, and the adults don't have teeth. So as they grow up, all their teeth fall out and they grow a grinding plate. But why do they have a grinding plate? Well, that duck bill is actually covered in like this leathery skin, and it has all these pores with these electromagnetic sensors in it. And then they'll just bury their nose, their duck bill, in the bottom of a stream, and they can actually pick up on the electrical impulses of like shellfish and other little tiny things that live in the muck at the bottom of like streams and ponds and things. When they use their little biological metal detector system to find these things, then they just like suck them up in their mouth, and they use their little grinding plate to grind them down, and then they swallow them into not their stomach because they don't have one. They just don't have a stomach. They're like, yep, don't need that somewhere along the evolutionary line. Let's just connect the esophagus right to the intestine. Kind of gives me human centipede vibes I'm not real happy about. We're not exactly sure why evolution decided to cut out the middleman of their digestive tract, but a likely hypothesis is that their diet consists of a lot of chalky shellfish that are high in calcium. So it's basically like they live off of Tums tablets. And the acids and enzymes in our stomach that dissolve our food are neutralized by Tums tablets. That's why Tums tablets work. So there probably wasn't much need for them to keep the spare parts around. But what's weird is that the only other animal that's in the same family as platypus, echidnas, I think. I don't know. They're little porcupine looking things. They're adorable. And they also lay eggs and sweat milk. But they don't live in the water, and they eat ants and stuff. Got the long little tongue like an anteater. They're like a hedgehog, porcupine, anteater looking thing. And they also have no stomachs, but their diet doesn't consist of natural Tums tablets. So I don't know. There's just a lot we don't know. Probably even more that I don't know. But the fact that platypuses, pretty sure that's right. I'm gonna go with platypuses. The fact that platypuses are one of the weirdest animals on the planet, and they're probably even more weird than you thought they were weird, which is obviously pretty weird. Well, that is pretty mind-boggling.